Welcome back to the Namaste Experience. I'm here in Boulder, Colorado for one more day. Looking forward to getting back to Namaste Village tomorrow. And I'm so happy to be able to join with all of you here at this little cafe in Boulder. And I'm going to dive right in with our parable for today, the parable from Mother. And I'm going to actually do something I haven't done before, which is to jump to the end. And I want to read something to you at the very end so we can be ready for it when it appears in the story. It says here, this is the mother speaking. She says, the Divine Mother does not move through the universe as ordinary people do. She does not look upon disease and discord and say, these are problems I must solve. The Divine Mother does not look upon lack or limitation and say, these are situations I must heal. Only the perceptual or egoic mind perceives in this way. Got a truck behind me here. The Mother looks upon all. I'll give it 1 second for this to clear. A little bit loud. Or maybe not. The Mother looks upon all and sees perfect unity, regardless of its appearance. If perfect unity is true, then nothing can interrupt it. And anything that seems to deny or interrupt this is not real. Do you see how simple this is? The Divine Mother laughs at all of these things and says, pass them by, give them no attention. Most of all, do not be fooled by that which God knows to be foolish. I love that line. Do not be fooled by that which God knows to be foolish. So, hopefully the truck behind me will clear it away in a moment, but I hope, can you all hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can still, okay. So now that we've heard that, by the way, okay, there we go. Good. Well, maybe not. Oh, there it goes. My goodness. So I tell you what, I'm going to mute this for now, and I'm going to ask Vicki if you'll go ahead and speak for a minute here while we're waiting for this truck to clear out. And then we'll do our parable. So Vicki, take it away for a few minutes and I'll squeak in here when this truck leaves.
All right, Brother James, but just so you know, on Zoom, we cannot hear the truck. All we hear is you crystal clear.
Really?
Yes,
Okay.
really.
All right.
It's one of those miracles. It just kind of overlooks the truck.
It is pretty loud behind me here. It's incredible. Well, I was going to say that the end of this parable sounds so much like something you would say, Vicki. Pass them by, give them no attention. And this line I love. Most of all, do not be fooled by that which God knows to be foolish. Anything you want to say about that before we go forward, Vicki?
I just want to say that's the whole answer. When we don't touch it, engage it even for a second, if we just recognize how simple it is that none of this is so, just that unity, that unified field that we meet in, that collective presence is so, and we don't touch it with our thinking, we move quickly into a grace situation, however that may show up. It's really about pay it no mind. It's the perfect beginning and ending. It's what overlooking is. There was a great scene. Some of you have seen one of the Buddha movies where Buddha's sitting under the Bodhi tree, and then in the little water in front of him, lake or something, there's all the temptations are coming. And the last temptation, the last one after all the power, sex, money, and everything else comes just a still reflection of himself. And here he is under the Bodhi tree, and he sees this perfect reflection, and he goes to touch it just with his little finger to see, is that a perfect reflection? He just with the littlest touch, touches it, and this devil, this energy, pulls him right into the water. And that's what happens with us. If we don't touch it, just don't touch it. Say, okay, I know truth is true. I am awake now. Only God, only love, only now. And don't leave there. We find ourselves walking in grace through whatever appearances we might find ourselves in. That's all I have to say. Thank you,
Wow,
Brother James.
beautiful. And that says enough right there. That says everything right there. Well, let's dive into this parable and then we'll share a bit more about what the deeper meaning is. But I love that we're not to touch it. Just even the slightest touch pulls our identity and we claim it. Remember to only claim that which is wholly and completely claimed you, and that's love. Only love has totally and completely claimed you. And if we would but totally and completely claim love, then we come into a resonant pattern with love itself. And then this is what we experience, just love. So let me read this parable now for today. The ashram fell silent as mother stood up from her seat and spoke in a loud voice. When the Divine Mother opens her eyes, everything she sees enters the manifest universe with ease and grace. And when the Divine Mother closes her eyes, everything she does not see dissolves and returns to the womb of creation. Opening and closing, infinite worlds are revealed while remaining hidden and unseen. In this way, the mind of the Divine Mother penetrates all mysteries. She knows without knowing, sees without seeing, and understands that which the perceptual mind will never comprehend. The instant mother finished saying these words, a rooster suddenly crowed just outside the door of the ashram, startling everyone inside. Mother gave a loud laugh and said, "Do I have your attention now?" Then she sat down in her chair and shared this parable. Once, in a distant village nestled amidst towering mountains, there lived a humble farmer named Raj. Every day, Raj toiled in his fields, tending to his crops with unwavering dedication. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Raj returned home to find his eldest daughter, Maya, in tears. "What troubles you, my child?" he asked, concern etched across his weathered face. "Father," Maya began, her voice trembling, "I fear that our harvest will fail this year. The rains have been scarce and our crops are withering away. How will we survive?" Raj listened to his daughter's fears with a heavy heart, but then he smiled gently and placed a comforting hand on her shoulder. "Do not despair, my dear Maya. For even in the darkest of times, there is always a glimmer of hope. Divine Mother will provide for us." With those words, Raj retreated to his small shrine at the corner of their humble home. There he lit a single candle and closed his eyes in deep meditation. In the stillness of the night, he called upon the Divine Mother, the eternal source of all creation, seeking guidance and solace. As Ra meditated, a profound sense of peace washed over him, and he felt a profound connection to the infinite wisdom of the Mother. In that sacred moment, he understood that although the challenges they faced seemed insurmountable, the universe was always unfolding according to the divine plan. The next morning, as the first rays of sunlight illuminated the village, Raj emerged from his home with renewed purpose, With unwavering faith in the unseen forces that guided their lives, he and Maya tended to their fields with great determination. Weeks passed, and just when all hope seemed lost, dark clouds gathered in the sky, and the heavens opened up, showering the parched earth with life-giving rain. The fields flourished and the crops thrived as if touched by the divine hand of the mother herself. From that day forth, the villagers spoke of Raj and Maya with great reverence, for they had witnessed firsthand the power of faith and devotion to the unseen forces that govern the universe. And in the heart of every hardship, they found the eternal presence of the Divine Mother, guiding them through the trials and tribulations of life. The disciples looked around at each other, hoping to comprehend the meaning of this parable. Mother, recognizing their confusion, said, "The Divine Mother does not move through the universe as ordinary people do. She does not look upon disease and discord and say, 'These are problems I must solve.' The Divine Mother does not look upon lack and limitation and say, 'These are situations I must heal.' Only the perceptual mind perceives in this way. The Mother looks upon all and sees perfect unity, regardless of its appearance. If perfect unity is true, then nothing can interrupt it. Once again, if perfect unity is true, then nothing can interrupt it. And anything that seems to deny or interrupt this truth is not real." Do you see how simple this is? The Divine Mother laughs at all of these things and says, "Pass them by, give them no attention. Most of all, do not be fooled by that which God knows to be foolish." Do not be fooled by that which God knows to be foolish. And what is foolishness to God? Well, all of the concerns we have about change. This is going to change. I'm going to be leaving here, going there. What will happen if? Jesus says, "Look at the birds of the air. They neither sow nor do they reap, and yet their Father gives them everything they need." Wouldn't God do the same for you who is so loved? Of course. You know, yesterday at Namaste Village, we all experienced something of a loss, something that seems to have been a great loss. Our dear brother Jeff, who has been with us from day one of our village being created over 6.5 years ago. Jeff left his body and is everywhere now, just as we are everywhere now. And there's that temptation, just as with this parable, to think something has been lost. Of course, we're going to miss the physical presence and the personality of our dear brother, but the Divine Mother is challenging us to realize that we're called to look through loss and to see that nothing real can be threatened and nothing unreal exists. And herein lies the peace of God. As she says, and as we have said so many times, this is so simple if we would just allow it to be simple. Nothing can be lost when you accept and receive everything. See, this is one of the ego's biggest tricks. The idea that for you to open up so wide that you accept and receive everything, you must lose something to do that. But once again, this is laughable in the mind of God. Don't be fooled by that which seems so foolish to God. Nothing can be lost when we open up and receive everything, and everything is calling to us now. So whether it be our brother Jeff or anyone else, we also had another dear friend of the community pass away earlier in the week. And the temptation is to feel the loss. And there's nothing wrong with feeling sad that we're going to miss the presence of that one, but to know, even through that sadness, that only love is real. And all we really need to do is to keep giving our hearts over constantly, continuously, consistently to this truth. Only love is real. And then to remember our beautiful motto here at Namaste Village, only love, only God, only now. You stick with that, you're going to be fine. So that's my take today, and I'll turn it back to Vicky to share anything else that she'd like to share.
Okay, brother. Thank you, Brett. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good morning, everybody. Well, first, I just want a moment for Jeffrey. I had heard that Jeffrey passed, but I didn't recognize the last name, so I didn't realize it was Jeffrey from Namaste. So maybe just a moment of celebrating natural communion that is not interrupted by physicality in any way, and appreciation for the blessing that each brother brings when his purpose is to awaken here in time to each one of us. So blessings, Jeffrey. Communication is not interrupted when we recognize that we belong to God, that we are spirit, and that spirit is one. It's a unified being. We are in unity. And what I wanted to say about the mother, of course, the mother or any awakened being never looks at the problem, or even Joel Goldsmith, a peer who has been in our midst in our lifetimes, doesn't look at this sickness or that sickness and think about this problem and this correction. When we abide in infinite love has to pour through us, and it will outpicture, even in this realm of time and space, as a natural harmony of one sort or another. It's not up to us to define or to say what that should look like. It may look like a body putting a brother or sister putting their body down because mission complete. Lessons to be learned have been learned, and it's time to soar and to experience life, awaken life as spirit. It's not for us to decide what form grace would take. But if we abide in infinite love as the children of God that we are, it's the law that we were created in, that form, expression, the giving of what we're holding in our mind has to pour through us, and it will express right in front of us. And that's the same for each of us, whether we do it sometimes or all the time. But most assuredly, when we're troubled, that's the most important moment, to go right to this center of infinite, eternal love, because that's the name of God. That's what the name of us, that's what we are. And not to touch it like the Buddha. Don't touch that reflection. Don't touch it. As we stay in this awakened, that's what an awakened state is. I live in infinite grace. I live in infinite love. The time of the mother that we're in now, that's why this is so important, is kind of catching everybody up so we don't have to go through lots of processes and lots of forgiveness work and all the rest of it. When we recognize it has been all one problem, that we've misidentified who we are, and that misidentity that we held in our mind, that we're separate, took form around us, so things seem to be lacking and seem to end up dying because we have been lacking the fullness of who we are. When we come into that present awareness, just any one moment, I am awakened now. I am a child of God, one with all of life. I live in infinite love. When we stay there and don't let our mind wander into temptation, that's thinking, when we stay there, our mind is full of that natural grace that we are. We are reunited with our purpose and with one another and with our source. And when we are reunited, there is no more lack. So lack is not going to show up out here. Grace will paint a picture, whether it's a harvest that's full or a body or whatever it is. Grace will express, because we must give. There's no being Our whole nature, the nature of being is to give of itself. And we give of ourselves as to what we're holding in our minds. It's really that simple. That's why who I am is the only problem. If I identify as a being, as a body who has problems and sees other problems, I'm going to stay on a merry-go-round of problem solving, and maybe symptoms solve for a while, but the cause will never be addressed. When I step back from all of it, and this is what the mother says, come back to the womb of creation, come back to the restoration of who you are, and let the mother's love quicken the release and the surrender of all these false identities we've come up with. I'm a boy, I'm a girl, I'm a this, I'm a that, I'm a whatever. It's like none of them. That mother's love, that and you know, the mother, the divine mother is just an image that we can use right now culturally and to quicken us to trust and to relax, because we recognize a mother's love. We see it in nature all over the place with animals. They protect their cub. They'll go through any lengths to protect their egg or their baby. We do the same. The mother's love quickens our release right now, primarily because so many of us are awakened and we've joined in only this simple purpose to stay awake to who we are. We don't have to deal with all the symptoms. We don't have to go through all of the processing and thinking. And there's a step of faith, but that faith
At faith. We'll see if Vicky comes back here in a minute. I love how she expressed that this is the time of the Divine Mother.
I'll call you right back. I'm still
Oh.
on Zoom. Am I
Okay,
back?
you're back.
Okay, that was Teddy calling me. Anyway, let the mother's love quicken our release. That's what all I'm trying to say. This is a time where there is a speed up. Jesus calls it a celestial speed up. The image of the mother's love is the image of our creator as an unconditional, great big mama bear that just loves us to pieces, over the moon about each one of us, all of creation. There's no exception, no dream sequence that we made up that gets in the way of a mother's vision of her child as the perfection of what creation is. That's all that we are. Trust that for a minute. When you're tempted to jump out and get nervous or upset about something, fall back into it. That's why it's collapse into unconditional mother's love. Let it quicken the surrender and the release of these upsets and the attachment to them looking this way or that way. Let it quicken that release. Let that mother's love be more valuable, more precious, and more felt than any other little goal we have been seeking here in time and space. All goals, good or bad, are goals for separation. Seek not outside yourself. Seek in here for infinite love. The Father, the Mother, the Creator, it's right there.
Okay. Is it me?
Oh, you're muted, James.
I love the glows of light over you, Margaret Rose. You're lighted up.
Okay.
I love you all.
Okay. Oh, got some dogs behind me here. Thank you, Vicky. That was so beautiful to remind us that this is the time of the embrace of the Divine Mother, the love of that mother to include everything, to love all. And then just with the rest of it, push it away, doesn't matter. Give it no mind, pay it no attention. Only thing for us to pay attention to now is that extension of love, and to make sure that we are part of that extension. And all we need to do to be part of that extension is to look around and to make a conscious choice to see everything as the Divine Mother. Usually I would say God, but today I'll say to see everything as the Divine Mother would see it, in love, in light, in gratitude. As the parable said, this really is very simple. We just need to apply it. And that is the reason we come together here every morning. We come here every morning to apply these lessons, to be lifted, and then to go out into our lives, into the world, and to see it everywhere. So let that be your goal today, to follow the guidance of the Divine Mother and see this light everywhere you go and every person that you meet. And to that we say, Amen, 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 y punto. Thank you, everyone. Have a blessed day.
Thank you. Have
We'll
a
see you
great day.
tomorrow. Bye
Good
now.
day.